We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast, and this is going to be a little different than you used to. This is going to be maybe a little shorter, not that much shorter, but it's going to be released early, and then later I'm going to do a live that'll be released after midnight. But we have Will here, and he's down in Georgia, and we're watching what's going on right now. It's about 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time is where Will is right now in Georgia. And it's funny. It's funny when you look at what's going on right now at this stage. We know they're projecting Florida for Donald Trump, and I know a lot of people are upset by that. And what I've said to people is Florida was kind of on our wish list, kind of hoping against hope that that would happen. I don't know that anybody absolutely expected it. I was more disappointed by the fact that Rick Scott was projected to be the winner. Apparently, apparently, Floridians love living in a shithole because that's what they're
I
going to
mean,
continue to
it
do.
wasn't even close. It's like a 14-point win
Yeah.
for Rick Scott. Okay, whatever. Matt Gaetz is back in Congress. Yay. Luna is back in Congress. Yay. Um, Florida. There's a cartoon years ago, Bugs Bunny. You probably saw it when Bugs Bunny wanted a bounty on him because it's
Right.
only like a penny, and then he sawed off Florida.
Right.
Yeah, that's not might be a bad fucking idea.
Well, here's the
Dear to
deal.
God.
Here's the deal. Florida was once a paradise, a beautiful place to go, very enticing to tourists. Now this place has a travel advisory for people of color. That's going to
Mhm.
affect tourism. That's going to continue to affect any athletes who want to play on their college teams. And apparently they're all for it. Now they voted against legalizing marijuana too.
Yeah, that was. And I'm not going to fault them on that because that was geared to fail for them. I mean, it was close, 57 and 57. Even the reproductive failed, but they needed 60%,
Well,
so it had to be two
at the
thirds.
point we were doing this right now, um, they are saying that the reproductive is still in the running. It's at 57%. It could get to 60%. But again, if you live in Florida, then you're
You know, and someone it's and then Joe Reed had done a piece on Florida, and she had said she was kind of wondering if Florida was playing, why wasn't the Democratic Party putting money in Florida, like putting money in Georgia? Because the Democratic Party attorney Pony said that would be basically pissing um, pissing into a hole. I mean, money, pissing away
yeah.
money. They knew, they
Yeah.
freaking knew. Um, and so right now it's kind of an ugly thing. I mean, it's all the South and North Dakota, South Dakota call for Trump, and it just goes to show. And I'm sorry, it just goes to show that.
We seem distracted here because we're both looking at the television. I just saw something. I don't know if it's true that they called Texas for Trump too.
Yeah, they called Texas for Trump just now.
But understand what's going on here. None of it is unexpected. You know, I thought there would be some unexpected stuff. North Carolina looks good for Kamala.
No, they
Pennsylvania is
call
looking
North
good.
Carolina. They call Virginia for Kamala Harris. North Carolina probably is trending to her. We still got the big ones,
Pennsylvania, the blue belt.
Pennsylvania, the Blue Belt.
And those are really
But
the important ones, you know, that we were talking Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and possibly North Carolina. Those big ones would pretty much lock her into winning this election. I still, I find it hard to believe that it wasn't closer in Florida, but there's no accounting for fucking stupid.
but it's just
Texas,
but it's just this campaign that she ran was so perfect,
yeah,
and Donald Trump ran this entire hateful thing, and it's this
yeah,
after he tried to overthrow the government.
right, right.
So
Well, you're in Georgia. Let's talk about that base of uh, uh, it it's basically very tight in Georgia. We don't know where it's going. Hopefully Kamala wins that. That would be nice if she wins that. But you were suggesting that if she does win, it'll be very similar to what we had in 2020 which again makes no sense.
Well, it's pretty. They're tracking, and I'm watching whoever I'm watching Brian Tyler Cohen. He's doing maps. He's because I'm staying away from fucking
Good
mass
idea.
media because they're going to put in their fucking pundits. Yap yap yap. Shut the fuck up. I just want to look at numbers. He's looking at it right now. Gwinnett, Fulton County, Henry County, and Chatham still have close to just a shitload of Fulton County still has 143,000 votes to
Right.
count. These are heavy Democratic areas,
Right.
heavy population. It may turn out that she wins. She's probably going to win this state. It's going to be close again, but it just tells you there's two things in my mind that are working right now. In my mind, as I'm watching this, all the things that Donald Trump said did not come through because people are so solidified on their hate.
Right.
And two, I'm afraid this is the Bradley effect.
Bradley
Okay,
effect.
the Bradley effect. And Arlene talked about it, and I'll bring it up because I was in California at the time. Tom Bradley was mayor of Los Angeles, first black mayor of LA,
Right.
ran for governor in the late 70s, trying to think. And he was leading George Deukmejian in the polls. When it got down to the election night, George Deukmejian won, surprisingly. When they did the exit polls, they found out the reason that George Deukmejian won was that people could not bring themselves to vote for black man for California.
Yeah.
That is a fucking fact. And what I'm smelling here is that she may still win the battle. It's going to be ugly like before, but we're going to lose the fucking war because we're going to lose the Senate and the House is going to be close
Well, I don't know if
because
I don't know if we're going to
people.
lose the
I
Senate.
mean,
We're
everything he said the last 2 weeks in a normal world would be the end of one's political career.
yeah, yeah,
Now people are
absolutely.
embracing this, and it just tells me how far how far a good majority of Americans are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lady who was saying that if Trump wins on TikTok, they're going to be upset because they're cult leader and we have to be nice to him. I said, fuck that. Look what they're putting us through. Okay,
Absolutely.
you don't get this. My wife and I had a discussion today. My wife at first hasn't said anything in politics. She's been sending me messages in fucking panic right now.
Oh, I'm getting
In
all
fucking
kinds of panic
panic.
mess. I get all kinds of panic messages, and
But
I
see,
just say,
my
settle the
wife.
fuck down. This is how it went in
uh,
2020.
Oh,
Donald
I
Trump looked
I
like
know
he was
that, but
going strong, and then it just fucking he got buried.
but see the thing is like her point is that she's a real uh, expert on the Holocaust. She's read so much information,
Right.
and when she sees and hears them and reads them, she's like, and she's telling me, I don't know what's going to happen because she's afraid. And I see her point because everything that he said is basically tracking Nazi. I
Yeah.
mean, they're Tizzy Elliott, who's Tizzy Elliott Ed. I'm trying to remember him. Huge TikToker.
Tizzy Int.
He Tizzy Ed. Yeah, the guy does usually is the guy who tracks people down and doing bad things.
Yeah.
But he saw a video of a lady who said she went on a date with a guy who turned out to be a Trump fuck. So she kind of, yeah, right. I'll pick up my own check type of thing. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So the guy and so she went ahead and he's texting her, trying to impress her. Okay. And he's saying that he's not going to be working for a company that's going to get this huge contract if Trump wins the presidency. She goes, what type of contract? Oh, they're going to contract to build immigration camps in South Texas to house immigrants so we can help them.
Right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's what the Nazis said for the Jews when they set up fucking concentration camps. They
Yeah.
already have
Absolutely.
plans. Okay, and so do not fucking think that watching this right now and watching Americans choose a person who failed as a president who has fucking Nazi plans. It's not disturbing to people like me, and it's not disturbing to a lot of people out there. It just shows us how far we've fallen as a fucking country.
Yeah.
This
It,
makes no goddamn sense to me
well, it
to
does.
watch this tonight.
It does cause you to wonder about society. I've said this when Donald Trump first came in. What was exposed was really disconcerting. It's just how many stupid, oblivious, gullible people there are, and there are a lot of them. Fortunately, most people aren't like that. In terms of whether you're panicking right now or whatever, Kamala's going to win. Donald Trump is winning North Dakota and Florida and that stuff, but that's all
Well,
expected. Arkansas, that's all expected. Wait till Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan,
I
and
mean,
North
Michigan,
Carolina
she's
come.
up by 53-7.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's not
still
even
have like
close.
4 million votes. I mean, it's going to try. I know in the end, but I was hoping where we didn't have to deal with. See, the problem right now is not that Kamala Harris will win the presidency. And the problem is that it's going to be close enough where Donald Trump is going to cause problems with his fucking whining.
Yeah,
And two, Republicans aren't dead and they're going to try to revamp under MAGA again. Because
yeah,
you know that, and I know that if they have any foothold, and it's looking like they will, then we're in a back to the same thing again. And we're doing it. We may have someone who's going to be a stop block, but if she doesn't have the Senate, then we're just sitting here for the next 4 years, next 2 years, watching them fuck us over again. And that's
yeah.
the thing that bugs. I mean, that's the hardest thing for right now. And I know everyone, we've been optimistic. The problem is you can't fix stupid, apparently.
Apparently
There
not,
ain't
but
no.
but again, we're talking about states that we kind of expected to be red, and that's the majority of that's been coming out now. I mean, there's tons of blue state. You got California, you got New York, you got Minnesota, you got a lot of
Well, I mean,
places that are going to go blue, and it's going to even things out and push her over the top. If she gets those swing states, it's over. I'm optimistic, and I expect Kamala to
and
win.
I get it.
The only thing
And
I
again,
would
I just got it.
the only
Go
thing
ahead,
I
sir. I'm
will be
sorry.
disappointed about is if it isn't a big win. And it's not because I'm worried about him fighting about whether he won or lost. I think that a big win is important as a mandate for this country that we're going a different direction.
But see, the thing about it is, again, they're showing like the results in Florida. Rick Scott won by 14 points. What does that tell you?
It
I
tells
mean,
you
and
that they enjoy having a criminal represent them.
I say I don't.
But Rick Scott's
I
got
mean,
a
this
problem.
whole.
Rick Scott's got a problem after this election. He was part of the reason for bringing Clark into the mix for the insurrection. So now he's going to have to address that afterwards. He may very well get indicted. So if you want a potentially indicted senator, go ahead, because he won't be there long if he gets indicted.
Now, I will say one nice thing as I'm looking at North Carolina government um, gubernatorial results. Mark Robinson lost by 10 points. Well, at least they recognize that shit
Yeah, at
for
least they
once.
recognize that shit, and
Fuck.
hopefully that's indicative of what Donald Trump does in that state, since those two are fucking butt buddies.
But see, but it's still close on the presidential side.
Yeah.
In Texas, they may have called it for Texas, but from when I saw it, Colin Allred may beat Ted Cruz, which means that Ted Cruz just was welcome in Texas.
And you know
But
what?
we don't know
I'll,
yet.
I'll, I'll take that. I'll give them Texas because they were going to get it anyway. But if we can get Colin Allred and get a Ted Cruz out of there, that's a win for me.
But see, the thing that's going to bug me about this is it's gonna hurt my soul at this time. Okay, is that if everything plays out like 2020, which is starting to look like it, but with a little bigger margins, is that means women are still going to continue to die in Florida, in Texas, in Georgia. We're going to spend first 2 years because before the midterms of trying to fight off Republican attempts to take apart the economy
Yeah.
for the rich folk. We're not going to get any kind of justice done because they'll fight anything that the AG might try to do, the new AG. Um, I don't know if we have to admit that the motherfucking polls from New York Times and all that may have been correct, and
I
that's a
still,
scary fucking thought
I still,
unto itself.
I still find that hard to believe. Because we're looking at states that are normally Republican strongholds, and you kind of expect that to go. When I've said the polls are wrong, it's because based on facts and based on what the media does. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I still don't think I'm wrong because we haven't really seen the places that are where it's going to show up. You expect certain things out of Texas, Arkansas, Florida, North and South Dakota. I mean, we're talking about cesspools of fucking Trumplafucks in those
Yeah,
places. But if Pennsylvania comes back big, if North Carolina goes, Michigan and Wisconsin goes, she wins. She wins. She doesn't
yeah. I
even need
mean,
North Carolina.
yeah. I mean, and Georgia would become a secondary thing. She won't need it. I mean, again, the numbers are coming out of Georgia. It's close. I mean, there's only 100,000 votes separating the two, and they still haven't done all the counting. Newton County, where I live, she's winning by 5%. Um, in Macon County, she's winning, but not as much as with Joe Biden. I mean, that's the thing. There's some. It's just weird. It's weird because I expected better from the American, even down here from the American people. And I know we're talking about southern states. I get it, but it's just that you thought just maybe you could hear, see, but apparently not.
Well, I would, I
And
would,
that's a tough one to swallow at this
I,
point for me.
I would encourage people before you panic and get all upset and get all excited. Let this thing play out because in 2020, one of the reasons why Donald Trump claimed I won and then I went to bed and then I lost. A lot of this stuff, you've got mail-in ballots, you've got all this
Right.
other stuff that comes into play. That's why I don't know how they're saying Texas is given to Donald Trump. How many of the votes could they have fucking counted by now?
I mean, projections are done on like statisticals. These guys are usually pretty good on projections. The only time I ever saw a projection fall apart was in the 2000 election, the
Yeah,
Chads,
yeah,
which they did give that to Gore, and then all of a sudden they had to jump the projection, and then it ended up as that statistical tie, the
right,
$500 votes. That's the only time I've ever seen a projection get rolled over, ever. That's why they're more careful to do a projection, make sure it's good. That's
right.
why they freaked out the last election in Arizona and what's going on. So we're just going to have a long night and understand this is not what we expected, or maybe it was what we expected. It's
Well, I,
thing we
I
have to understand.
I want to stop people from like I say, I'm getting people coming into me going, I'm panicking, we're going to lose. Fucking shut up. Just you got to let everything ride out. When it's all over,
Right.
then you can tell me, was I wrong? Was I right? And it doesn't matter if I'm wrong or right. All that matters is Kamala wins. But I would like it to be a big win so that I mean, it's real. This is what I say to folks. If you live in a rural area and everybody around you loves Donald Trump, you think the whole fucking country loves Donald Trump. If you sit and watch TV and watch them bring in results from red states and he's winning those red states, you think, oh my God, we're losing. No, that's expected. You expect to lose Florida. We had hopes that we could win Florida. Common sense would tell you we would win Florida, but apparently the people of
Mhm.
Florida don't have common sense or decency. Okay, that's fair
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, yeah. That's. I mean, that's a hard. It's just. I guess I was hoping for better news, that it wouldn't be the same thing like 2020, where we're all fucking, you know, intentionally tied
Well, I'm
for
still not sure it's going
hours
to
in
be
a
like
day.
2020. We can see some. We still are going to see some surprises. North Carolina might very well be one of those surprises.
Yeah.
But all we can do is ride this out and not panic
Hmm.
too much. There's no value. I know what you wanted, and I wanted it too.
Yeah.
You wanted it a mandate right down the fucking pipe. Georgia
For
comes in, he
change.
loses big.
Yeah.
Florida, he loses big. Texas, he loses big. I would love to have seen that happen, but again, Consider the people we're dealing with.
So we have to consider what happened. Why does a criminal, misogynistic, racist, narcissist appeal to so many people? I
It's un,
don't. It's like
there's
I
no
don't
accounting
get
for
it.
stupid. There's no accounting for stupid, and there
But
are a
it's
lot of
but see,
stupid people
but
in this
it's,
country.
but see, a lot of people aren't stupid per se, and they know voting for him is the worst thing that they know what's going to happen if he becomes president. They know the economy will crash. They know that their neighbors are going to get dragged away. They know this.
Well, it's tribalism,
Or do
and
they want that?
it's the tribalism aspect. And there's certain people that say, "I'm a Republican. I'm always voting Republican, whether it's fucking Hitler or not." And,
Okay,
and,
so let's
and
talk
we're not
about
talking about bright folks.
okay, let's talk about how tribalism works. I'm going to use a word that if you people aren't very bright, you should know. Rwanda. Yeah, that was tribalism.
Yeah,
You saw how that turned out.
yeah,
Oh, let's go before even then for that. The Balkans. You heard the word balkanization? That's what happened after the Soviet Union pulled out and they all turned on one another
right,
in the 90s. So
right.
this tribalism thing doesn't benefit you because always one tribe tries to kill the other. Apparently, this is what we want. I have
Uh,
never been so disappointed in Americans as I am right now. Yeah, I know it's the Southern States. I get it, Mike. This is the Southern States. But I just thought from this whole performance we saw for the last 2 weeks that this would not resonate.
yeah,
Wisconsin is coming in the first ones, and Trump is leading in Wisconsin for the early votes.
they can't have many votes
Pennsylvania,
in.
Harris is up by 18 early votes because Philadelphia is starting to report. Let's see. I mean, so still a lot of votes to count. And Wisconsin would be a nice, horrible surprise. Um,
Well, I think Biden got Wisconsin
yeah, he got
back.
Wisconsin, and it's in North Carolina. He's up by 2% with 2 million votes to count. 2.7 million votes count. It's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night,
Long night.
and the thing about it is, you're absolutely right. Donald Trump in the last 6 months has done everything he can to lose this. He's been abhorrent. He's been horrific, and the idea that there's anybody that's willing to vote for him is disappointing. There's no question it's disappointing. And apparently that's something we have to deal with. There are certain people that are dumb and disappointing, and that makes life in this country a little harder. That's why we've got to continue to fight against them and push them back and push them down. Otherwise, I've always said, like Florida, for example, you want Rick Scott, you want Donald Trump in, and the whole Republican thing. You don't want abortion rights. Okay, you get it, and you deserve what you get. And there are going to be women dying in Florida thanks to the Republican Party, unless Kamala can get this thing codified with Roe v. Wade. But that's what's going to happen. That's who you voted for, and it sounds very insensitive, but you get what you deserve.
I mean, that's just to accept that
Yeah.
because you think
Well, what choice
it
do you have?
serves some religious purpose. It's sad. I mean, right now the House is really turning toward Republicans. I know it's still red states, but Christ Almighty.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens, then I don't even know what to say about this country.
Yeah.
Republicans have the Republican MAGA message got through that hope means nothing to these people.
No, no, it
I mean,
doesn't.
I mean, and I just don't get it. I mean, it just doesn't fit the models we saw, the data we saw. I mean, you're telling me at the last minute everyone decided to vote for that man after all this? And see right now, and
it's
oh, never
disconcerting.
mind. Ted Cruz is up by 6 points.
Is he?
Yeah, in Texas,
Well,
and that looks like that's just going to be whatever. enjoy that, guys.
Yeah, well, put it this way. I've said this before. We need to get Kamala to win. We need the first thing. Um, None of this, even if we got the House and the Senate, and I still think that's a distinct possibility, even if we got the House and the Senate and Kamala, we got a big hole to dig out of. They've created a huge mess. Now, if we aren't afforded some of the luxuries of a majority in the Senate, I still think the House is a foregone conclusion. But as long as we have Kamala at the House and hopefully the Senate, it's still going to take a long time before we dig out of this fucking mess. Um, I was going to do TikToks and then I'm going, people are fucking panicking. Let's just see what happens, what shakes out. And
Yeah,
and and we're going to be fine. People need to relax
yeah.
and
I
not
mean,
get
the hardest thing
emotional.
right now is that I think what's really disturbing all of us is that okay, they have just called North Carolina for Donald Trump.
They did?
They just did.
Okay, well that's not
It's
good.
9:25. They have called North Carolina for Donald Trump. Um,
Well, it looks like Trump is ahead in Georgia, but Harris is well ahead in Illinois. That's expected.
yeah,
We need Georgia to come through. They're not calling that as yet.
yeah. They just called it in North Carolina. I mean, wow, wow. I mean, I just don't get it. But then again, I'm stupid. I guess I'm
Oh,
just fucking stupid. I mean, I expected more from the American people. I'm just a fucking idiot.
well, I
I
expect him
mean,
to get the swing states, and I also expected Kamala to win the swing states, and I expected her to pull off some unexpected places that may or may not happen. But the main thing is we need her to win. That's the first step.
but I just never. How in the fuck the campaign? The campaign. It's okay. I mean, there was a German. They interviewed him in Germany about the election, and he says, "Take it from a German. Listen." Well, I guess we didn't. I guess we didn't.
Now,
Wow.
you
I
know,
mean,
I've said this before. Everybody
what? I
says
mean,
If
go
Kamala
ahead.
wins, they're worried about um, violence from the Trumplafucks. I am frankly more concerned about violence if Kamala loses, and she's not going to lose, but if she were to lose, I would think there'd be more desperation on the Democratic side, knowing what is ahead with Donald Trump, and I would be concerned about that.
Well, the one fear I have is that if he does win the presidency and they start this immigration thing, it's going to be it's going to be bloodbaths.
Yeah,
People have weapons. They're not going without a fight. No one's dragging anyone into camps. And trust me, after the whole Puerto Rican thing, he's going to be grinding on Puerto Ricans too.
right.
Watch. I
Well, you know
mean,
what?
it's going to get ugly beyond belief.
It's going to be, but Donald Trump will not be the president. I'm convinced of that, and I won't change my mind on that at all.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, because I just can't get North Carolina. How did he get North Carolina?
well,
What is going on with these people?
North Carolina is normally red, right? But we had all the incidents with Robinson and stuff, and Robinson lost, so you would presume that would leak over to Donald Trump, but apparently not.
Well, what's the difference between Mark Robinson and Donald Trump? They're the same motherfucker except for skin color.
That's a good point, and
I
maybe
mean,
that skin color
he
made a
is the
difference.
same fucking person
Yeah.
with the same fucking beliefs. And
Well,
I'm watching you Texans are fucked in the head. You're absolutely fucked in the head. You're going to put a man back in the Senate that fucked you every chance he got. Every chance he got, he fucked you.
again, there's no accounting for stupid,
And
and
it's same thing in Florida. I mean, wow.
yeah, it's
This is, I
surprising.
mean, it's hope is dead, man. This is sad.
Hope
I
is
don't want to
not
say
dead.
that, but it's like, I mean, how is common sense so dead in the United States?
Let me ask you this. Were you pretty confident that Florida and Texas would flip? Were you pretty sure about that?
No, I wasn't sure about it, but I'm just watching.
You were hoping for it. I
I was
was
hoping for
hoping
some
for it.
common sense, but right
Well,
now,
you would think
I
so.
mean, they got 210, and then the House not looking good because with Texas and Florida, got 210 seats in the House. Florida,
Really.
the Republicans do. That's not good.
But how many blue states have come through yet?
New York, and they've lost congressional seats apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm trying to see, like Nebraska. Yeah, the Dan Osborne might win the Senate in Nebraska. He's an independent. That'll be a plus if he goes with Democrats, but that's just the beginning. Um, so
Well, right now, Harris, 26% of the votes in, Harris is up 13 points. That's promising.
in Nebraska,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah, Pennsylvania.
That's the key spot. That's the pivot
Well,
point.
Pennsylvania, yes, but I mean,
That's the one we need her to win.
I just don't. It's that I'm looking at that house, and then over here, are you fucking kidding me? Looks at cunts up by 9 points on Holly.
Yeah. There you go.
And Missouri's already flipped red.
But Josh Hawley is a big see that's the
Colorado
thing.
has been called for Harris.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're saying is Missouri's flipped red for Donald Trump, but it looks like Hawley may get beat there, which would be a wonderful gift.
Would be one, but see that again goes back to what I said about the Bradley effect. If he's winning the statewide race, how is she losing the statewide race? Again, we're coming down to the same thing. People stood in front of that thing and said, I cannot vote for a black woman. And I'd rather vote for a misogynist, rapist, criminal because he looks like me.
Well, there are some people that do that. I know people back when Obama ran who said the same
guys,
thing to me. It's
and I know everyone's
ridiculous.
watching this, and I'm getting notes from some people. What we're going to do? Panicking. I'm not panicking. Let me put it this way: I mean, you still got California, all the ones right. Nevada still might be close. Arizona, I think, New Mexico, and if she gets to Pennsylvania, then it's over, and he wins. She wins. Then we'll go through the entire fight. Yeah. Georgia becomes inconsequential.
Right.
And I see that still because it would have had to be a huge upset in one of these states like Arizona.
Right.
And so that would be the what it is that to watch it basically play out like 2020 after everything we've been through after January 6th and everything, it's very disappointing of what the future is for the United States. Extremely disappointing for the future of the United States because we're not ready to turn any corners. Now we still have an intransient group of people who only believe in hate.
Yeah. Well,
nothing else.
There's people in some regions. Again, we're looking at stuff that has happened that is not unexpected. We'd hope for better given the circumstances of this race, but it's not unexpected. It's when the blue state starts coming in, then people are going, oh, great, oh, great, oh, great. People are really, really emotional about this, and I try not to get emotional. I know how this is going to play out.
Yeah, it's just, again, we have been hoping for finally to turn the page on all this shit. Honestly, just to say we're done with it. We don't want this. We don't want the hate. We're tired of the drama.
Well, I think people want a clean sweep. They want us to win Florida, and they want us to win Texas, and they want us to win Alabama, and that would be a mandate against MAGA and Donald Trump. But the important thing is that Donald Trump is gone, because once he's gone, he's done. He's over, and that whole faction is weakened.
Yeah, the hardest thing. I mean, Maryland looks like it's going to be turning blue for the Senate. Larry Hogan looks like he's losing pretty badly there.
And Kamala got Maryland.
Yeah, so Maryland, she got Maryland. If they flip Nebraska and Maryland. Nebraska was not expected. If they get Missouri, then it'll be close with the Senate. The House, I'll have to see where it comes in. Because that's the thing. I was hoping for a repudiation of the Republican Party. Now they're still going to be strong, but they're going to be the wrong Republican Party.
Yeah.
They're going to be the Republican Party still left over of Trump. Trump may not be president, but they are still MAGA. And they're going to be still MAGA forever until that's going on here. And in Georgia, what are we looking at? Still, what they still haven't counted on Fulton, DeKalb, Chad, or Gwinnett.
Those
They
are
haven't touched Gwinnett. And
those are
those are
heavy
the
blue.
heavy blue around Atlanta. A lot of votes to count. So if that is going to be interesting. Yeah, because they haven't counted those yet. Gwinnett has come in. There were some problems in DeKalb County because you heard about the bomb threats that came from Russia.
I was going to ask you about that. There's like 7
Oh,
bomb threats in Georgia.
yeah,
Jesus
and it came
Christ.
from and Brett Rossford. They asked him, "Do you know where it came from?" Yeah, it came from Western Russia. So again, I ask you, fucking Republicans, do you like being Putin's bitch? Just
Yeah.
asking,
They love
because
Putin.
I mean,
They love
I'm not
Putin.
down with that. How the fuck does the party of the Cold War become a Russian ally? You and I know that didn't work. You and I remember all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, they accused Democrats at the time of being, commies. How the fuck do you support an open enemy of the United States? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, you
And
do
I think
because
that's,
Donald Trump says he's his buddy, so everybody follows Donald Trump. And that's the thing is after this is done and Donald Trump isn't the president, he's going to be crushed with legal and financial things, and they aren't going to have somebody. He isn't going to survive another 4 years. So Donald Trump has to be gone out of politics, and then he has to be crushed like the bug that he fucking is. And
yeah.
then
So
they won't have a leader.
yeah. So two things. This is not. I was hoping that we didn't repeat 2020. We're going to repeat it 2020. I'm watching 2020 part due.
I don't know
Honestly,
that I agree with you, but go ahead.
well, to an extent, the margins may be bigger for Harris, but it's all falling into the same stuff. Like you think of Texas with Beto O'Rourke should have won that governorship. He didn't. Texas was a disappointment. Florida, DeSantis rolled everyone over. That was a disappointment. Georgia was a surprise that no one ever expected. Hence, the 11,000 vote call. Just that I was hoping we knew better after everything that's happened with Trump since 2020, since January 6th. But apparently, the party is so good on their bubble that these people just can't give it up.
Yeah.
And the problem we're going to have is that sickness is still going to be there.
Well,
We might get rid of the outside,
the
but the
head of the
root of the
snake.
problem is still in there and it's going to grow again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think people going into this, knowing all we know about Donald Trump, all the things he's said and done, we were all hoping for a first round knockout. But the fact that we didn't get a first round knockout, at least as of yet, shouldn't be surprising and shouldn't put us in a panic because we have to hear from Pennsylvania. She's winning in Pennsylvania. They tell us Pennsylvania is the main state that's most important. Donald Trump is winning states he was expected to win. And that's disappointing because I thought we'd flip one of those over. But if Donald Trump wins the states he expected and that's it, and doesn't win Pennsylvania or Michigan or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kamala will still win. And if we have to take baby steps to get there, that's fine. That's better than the alternative.
I mean, there's baby steps and there's walking where crocodiles still attached to your ass, because that's the problem. And
Yeah.
yeah, because the point is that if you still have this fucking MAGA thing attached to you like a leech, and you can't move or you can't move forward, and they use her failure as an idea to to promote hate again and to keep progress moving forward because it doesn't benefit them. We haven't won a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to the past, back to 2016. You motherfucking progressives, you motherfucking Bernie Bros, you motherfucking Jill Stein voters, you motherfucking whatever. This is your fucking fault. 10 fucking years later, it's still your motherfucking fault.
Now,
And
now,
I will die on that hill tonight.
now, Will, I agree with you with the far left, but you're acting like we lost, and we haven't lost yet. So just
Oh no, I know
settle
it's not
down.
lost. I'm just saying the reason that we're dealing with this and we're all fucking amped at this point, while people are, I'm just going to see DMs from my people, some of my people in panic. No,
Yeah.
we're going to win this battle tonight
Yeah.
because we haven't gotten west yet. Okay, and if you're in California, get your ass to the poll. God
Well,
damn,
well,
it matters
California,
at this point, especially in the Congress.
well, California is kind of a foregone conclusion. They're going to win. We're more concerned with Nevada,
Well, I'm more concerned
Arizona.
about the House.
Well,
That's
that's
what we
true.
need, the House.
That's true
And
too.
you get your ass out there and vote, because now if you're in the West and the polls are still open, which they are for another hour and a half, an hour, get your ass out there and vote, because the Congress matters. We
Right.
lose Congress, we're fucked.
Right.
If she lose the House and Mike Johnson is the fucking speaker, he will play that game to try to get Trump elected or force onto us for president.
But he
We
can't really
cannot
do anything.
have that bullshit happen.
He can't really do anything because he's not the one that certifies the election. It's the vice president.
Remember, he's the one who was the architect of the false electors.
Yeah, how'd that work?
And well, that's the point.
It
The
didn't
point
work.
he'll I don't the point is you can't trust these people
No, you
because
can't.
they're already making plans. They're seeing these numbers and people like Stephen Miller and everything. They're working out a plan, a bad plan, an ugly plan. Um, I would expect within the next hour, an hour and a half, Donald Trump will declare himself winner of this winner of the presidency.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's going to complicate everything. This is part of the plan. Even before the polls close, probably in California, to fuck everything up there.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing too, though. I'm looking at the balance of power right now. Right
mhm,
now, as we stand in the Senate, 36 to 46 Republicans. But we still haven't heard from a lot of blue states,
mhm.
or early votes or mail-in votes. In the U.S. House, it's 98 to 71. I don't think it's time, especially since we haven't heard from a lot of blue states. It's not time to run around with our fucking hair on fire. I know people want to see a slam dunk, but if a slam dunk isn't going to happen, don't get too riled up right at first, because this is what does people in.
Yeah, I mean, again, I did my part. Like you said in your TikToks, it is what it is.
Yeah,
We did our parts.
we did everything we
Um,
can.
and it's just that, and now if you're in the West Coast and your poll's still open, go vote,
Hmm.
because those are the things that we need to put up. She's going to win the election. I can't, and she blue walls this, and then she wins the election. We need that Congress up. If she does not have a blue Congress, then it's a nightmare. Now the good thing about in Pennsylvania, Scott Perry is getting his fucking ass handed to him in his district.
Is he?
I mean, getting his ass handed to him, which is yay, motherfucker, go, bye bye.
I know there's
God,
another
what a
criminal that should be the
yeah.
fuck out of
That's
there.
so that's good. I haven't heard anything about Taylor Green or what's going on in Colorado with Boebert, but I guess there was so much hope that this would be a total change. Well, I guess we're going to, like you said, do baby steps. It looks like we're going to have to basically, when everyone was telling you, and I'm even asking me, what are you going to talk about? Well, it looks like we're going to have a lot of motherfucking shit to talk about for the next few years, because it's going to be, because we're going to have to fight. One thing I will say, I have found my new attorney general. His name is Larry, is it Kastner from Philadelphia, the
Oh yeah, yeah,
Philadelphia
yeah, yeah, yeah,
district
yeah.
attorney, with the fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I like
Uh,
that guy.
So I want him in as the attorney general because I want his attitude to fuck around and find out. It is time because the one thing that they're going to do with that new with him with the attorney general, they will fricking start going after people. It is time
Well,
to
and
get rid of some of those people.
once they have a new attorney general, that is going to happen. We don't have the protection of the impending election to protect people. We're going to see a lot of legal activity and sitting members of Congress and Donald Trump, and it's going to be fucking messy. There's going to be so much to talk about and so much more to fight for. Like I say, even when Kamala wins, that doesn't mean we're safe. We won the battle, but we've got to win the war, and we eventually have to take these fucking Trump-the-fucks, shove their heads in the toilet, and give them a fucking swirly, and then kick their ass out the door.
Yeah, because if it's going to be a repeat of 2020, and in the sense that we can keep the Senate and keep the House with narrow margins, what Joe Biden did in 2 years with that was amazing.
Yeah.
What Kamala Harris hopefully can do with 2 years of that is even better, in which we can build on from that. Because that's the thing. That's the thing that we're seeing right now, is that the rot in the Republican Party runs through the entire voting bloc. That these people are, and I think these people will always vote against their own best interests until things fall apart. I mean, that's the thing. That things fall apart for them, then they go running for help.
Right.
So we have to not let them break the economy again.
Right.
That's what I mean. Republicans get in there will break the economy again to
They
prove
will.
a point.
They will.
We need to keep the economy going because that's what's going to matter. And I guess the message that this is a good economy never got through. Maybe to an extent, God, Bill Maher was right. Is that maybe Democrats should have been like Donald Trump and said and talked about it all the time, and kept saying, "Look what we did! Look what we did! Look what we did." Joe Biden is on that, Democrats on that, but Donald Trump is. Republicans are, and maybe we should start doing that because that's the only way it gets to people. You have to have a better messaging because they will vote against their own best interest. They keep doing it, and that includes letting women die.
Well,
But apparently they don't give a shit about.
well, let's look at what Donald Trump did. He was louder and he appeals to the lowest common denominator. That's the opposite of what the Democrats could do. They want to appeal to the same people that they appeal to, but they need to be louder, they need to be stronger, and they need to simplify the message because we got a lot of dumb motherfuckers in this country.
I thought Harris's message was simplified.
Oh, I think she did a
It's
great
just
job.
you couldn't. Yeah, but I think he just couldn't get through the wad of shit that was Donald Trump and the messaging from the right, and the misogyny of women. Again, I want to address men in this country. Men,
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
I agree.
When did you become fucking 19th century Victorian assholes?
It's
When did you
strange.
start
It's
thinking?
strange.
Yeah, when did you start thinking women you're a goddamn property? You know, I got into a fight with my wife over opening the goddamn dishwasher, and guess who won? It wasn't me.
No, no, I never win.
The point being is that I would not disrespect her like that. I'm not the perfect person, and we have discussions about it. But god damn, when did American men become such assholes and mean
Yeah.
and nasty? What happened, man?
Well, it's
I
going to be
mean,
interesting seeing like places like Florida who have insisted to stay in this draconian era in their state. There are going to be people suffering in Florida, and I'm sorry for that. And I don't want to see innocent people hurt. But there's a way out of that, and that's to vote these fucks out, and you chose not to. So you got two choices: vote them out or
I
move
mean,
the fuck out.
enjoy.
And I think you will see
Yeah.
people,
So
young people moving out, doctors moving out,
yeah,
athletes
here's the
moving
thing.
out.
Right. The thing about like with Georgia, why is Georgia so close? Because Georgia has such a business thing, and so many people have come to Georgia from the outside. We're not born and bred with this bullshit that had been Georgia.
Right.
That's why you see around Atlanta, and why it's so close, and she'll probably win the state. It'll be close for her to win the state. Um, she's going to. You're going to see Georgia keep moving toward blue or hard purple. Florida has no industry other than tourism. There is no manufacturing industry in Florida. I can't think of one. Can you?
No,
Other than tourism.
it's
And
tourism.
but here's the thing that's going to bite them in the ass. Who's going to clean your fucking hotel rooms?
Right.
Who's going to do the building?
Who's
Who's
going
going
to
to pick
roof
your
your
crops?
houses?
Yeah, because you already have that in place, and they're already hurting down there. And you keep voting against your best interest. And yeah, and I know Cubanos voted in dwarves rows for Trump. Fuck you.
Yeah.
He hates you too, but hey, you do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you do your thing. But that's the thing we have to deal with. And the only way that Florida is going to change if Florida gets choked economically.
Just to
And I
mention,
think,
Kamala's up by 6% in Michigan.
all right, and he just popped up the reproductive rights in Florida, 56. It lost even more. It's
It
done.
lost. Yeah, it's done.
It's DOA. But the one he showed in Nebraska looks like it's losing too. Not Nebraska, Missouri is losing too, which tells you, hi, Missouri voters. May I tell you, unless you, if you turn Josh Hawley out, I will only say you're partially fucked in the head. If Josh Hawley wins the Senate and you lose and you don't vote for reproductive rights, you're totally fucked in the head and join Texas and Florida
On a
as your
good
brethren.
on a good note, Tammy Baldwin is beating Eric Hovde in Wisconsin for
Good.
the Senate seat by about
Thank
5, 6
God.
points. Yeah.
Tammy Baldwin is a good senator. How the fuck do you not vote for her?
Yeah. That's a good
I
point.
mean, I mean, that's the thing. And I mean, if she holds that seat, they flip. It's going to be close. It might be able to hold a 50.
Right.
If you hold a 50, the only thing you have to fight off is the filibusters and stuff. And that's the thing. You got to hold a 50. It's just amazing. All these stories we've seen about reproductive rights and women dying just fell on deaf ears.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, that is
Apparently
sad.
they did, and that amazes me. I still think the abortion issue is a big issue for reasonable people. Unfortunately, we don't sound like we have reasonable people in Florida or Missouri.
But they have bought into. There was a video of a guy, they had a kid who a door knocker came for Trump, and he said, "No, I'm voting for Kamala Harris." Why? Because he goes, because I want my daughters to have their rights. And she goes, "Well, you want to sacrifice babies? Get the fuck out of here." Basically, he told her. So the point is, they want to be in your business, but they don't want to help you.
Yeah,
See, the thing, I mean, the thing about it is, to them, women are fucking broodmares.
right.
And if they die, they're replaceable. I saw that commercial where this guy, that ad, he said, you can't, I'm a Republican, you voted for me, she can't have an abortion, but she's going to die. Well, you're not going to have children again, but you'll have children again, but not with this woman. That's not a
Exactly.
parody, guys.
No,
That's a
it's not.
fucking truth.
It is the
And
absolute truth.
one guy said, when Kamala Harris went, I can watch The Handmaid's Tale because that'd be fiction. No, motherfucker, it's still reality in Texas, Florida, Missouri, Georgia. Sorry, I mean, you had an opportunity, so now we have to win the battle to win the fucking war.
Yeah,
That's where we're at right now.
it's going to be a long fight. We'd like to slam dunk this, but apparently it's going to be a long, ongoing fight, and we're up for it. How late are you going to be up tonight, Will?
uh, Probably into tomorrow. I'll probably
Okay.
be sucking on this all night.
Well,
I mean, this is. I've got to calm my wife down. She's in panic mode, and the only reason she's in panic mode because she's afraid that it's. She's afraid for me. She's afraid for our kids who are
yeah,
mixed race.
yeah,
She's afraid because I mean when I say she's an expert on the Holocaust, she's an expert in the Holocaust. She's read it all. She can tell you dates of Kristallnacht and everything, and she's seen it. And she reads it, and it's just scary to her to see that. Her point was that we were going to run, honey. I didn't say anything about running,
Oh, we're not
but
going to
see,
run.
that's what her mentality is, and I get it. And then it's so yeah, I'm going to be watching this because it looks like we still can get Georgia called tonight. Georgia, he's up by 300,000 votes, 52-46. They haven't called it yet. Still waiting for other votes to be counted.
We're still waiting for Fulton and Gwinnett.
Yeah, I'm seeing what he's got here. Brian just goes through everything really slowly. He's not Save. Here we go. Wisconsin, she's up by 4. That's looking good.
Michigan, she's up by 5-6.
Yeah, 6.
Pennsylvania, she's up. And those are the 3 we really have to worry about.
She's
Michigan,
up by 5. So those people who have like really good winters, they have time to read. You guys with good long winters where you're stuck in, you read.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Apparently.
So what was the question? Why so late? I apologize.
Well, the reason I ask is because I'm going to do a live on TikTok, and by the time people hear this, we're going to be behind the times. I'm just wondering if after I do a live and it's later at night and we got more going on, are you available to come back and see where we're
sure.
at?
I mean, I'm going to be sitting here for the next hour. I'm sitting here. The process. Yeah, because we're all going to be crazy. The people are going to be crazy. Your TikTok's going to be crazy. Those people are going to go absolutely bananas right now, and the MAGA fucks are going to sit there dancing on our graves. Apparently, no, dudes, you're not done yet.
No,
you're not done yet. Don't get happy.
And I got
don't get happy
and I got TJ the plumber going to be a moderator, and Gray Captain. They'll fuck some people up.
Yeah, because let me put it this way: we're still going to win this battle.
Yeah.
And if the war, fuck you. I'm ready for the war because I'm tired of this. And if it's going to be another 4 years of battling MAGA, even with Donald Trump still, his ancient ass still around, I don't give a fuck. We're still going to win this thing.
Yeah, and I don't have any question about it.
All right. But yeah, I mean, guys, this was a disappointment for me. I expected more from the American people. I was disappointed.
Yeah, you were disappointed.
I feel like the times my mom wasn't mad at me, she was disappointed at me, and that was worse.
Well, thank you for thank you for that, because now I got to fucking rev these people up again. I got to get some Rational Boomer Xanax going up in this bitch.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to be here for a while. If you want to check in at 11 my time when you're done with your thing, I'll be more than happy to see where we're at. Doesn't bother me, brother. I don't think I'm going to sleep on this for a while.
I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to you and see if you're awake.
Guys, but be pissed. Don't be afraid to be pissed.
No.
Be pissed at all these people who have no common sense. Don't let them off the hook. Don't let them off the hook. But understand, keep your courage, because I think we can still get this overall in the end.
Yeah, but I think so too.
Be mad. So go ahead, be mad. Don't be afraid to be mad. I want you guys mad.
Absolutely. We'll check back in with Will later on tonight. I'm going to get this out there. By the time you hear it, it's going to kind of be behind the times, but we'll just follow this through. I'll do a live if you want to do real time stuff. Well, by the time you hear this, it may be over anyway. So, but that live I will record and I will put it on the podcast as well. So we'll do what we can to cover things.
Cool.
Will, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon. And thanks for bringing us down, brother.
Sorry, guys. I'm not. We're not dead yet. And
no, we're
just
not
reach out to me an hour. We'll see where we're at. Talk to you.
All right. Talk to you then. Bye.
All right, bye.